This is a quarter blog of a college student, blah, 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 blah. Okay. A friend of mine recently sent me what he claims to be a scary Super Mario Bros. 3 hack that he wanted me to try out because he didn't have the courage. I started this blog to record my progress through the game. He got this from a site that's no longer active. And I've seen some pretty scary occurrences with emulator games before. Just look at Ben. That's the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Or is that Majora's Mask? Anyway. All that aside, however, there was something definitely off about this ROM. Its title was Super Mario Bros. Or SMB3 BW. Anyhow, I won't play any today as I'm quite busy with college work and such, but I'll definitely start tomorrow. It sounds like a Mad Libs replacement. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I played some of the game... Oh, June 6, 2012. I played some of the game today. Obviously, my friend was misinformed, as I've played all the way through 1-3 and have found nothing irregular. All the sprites, levels, and sounds didn't have a fluke to their name. Oh, wait, a secret. That must be how you have to unlock it. I swear, you guys, I'll find the warp whistle tomorrow and see what creepy secrets this game has to hide. Look for tomorrow's post, it won't disappoint. Maybe this will explain what the BW in the title stands for. June 7th, 2012. I wish I hadn't unlocked that secret. This game will be the bane of my existence. I'll try as best as I can to explain what happened to me and what will certainly entail. I don't know if any of you will believe me, but the sick mockery of one of my childhood favorites must be exploited and never seen by the eyes of any other breathing man on God's green earth. BW stands for big ol' weenus. And Todd, that's what I'll call my friend for the sake of privacy and possibly security. Do not send that link to anyone else. You'll see why below. I entered the castle stage, knowing its only secret was the warp whistle. I disposed of a dry bones before donning a raccoon tail. With a running start, I was above the stage before I hit the secret area. My whole like before I hit up on my arrow keypad was completely different. My whole life. I was happy. I was normal. I could wake up in the morning recognizing my own reflection, being absolute about my safety. Now it's all lies. I know that as of what happened today, my whole W-H-O-L-E, my whole will become an infernal hell in which every day will be a futile struggle to retain my own sanity. After finishing this wretched collage of electronic dejection, I will embrace death like a long-lost lover with open arms. Now to get on with what has come to pass. The blocks that lined the walls were gloomy, albeit polished obsidian black. My whole will now become an infernal hell. Mario's skin now had a grayish tint to it, but that wasn't what was wrong with the picture. The music was a sped-up version of the normal bonus room theme. Toad's skull was cracked open and profusely bleeding, spilling blood onto the floor and making the room slippery like an ice stage. His mouth was... That's what's inside those toad heads. Just a whole bunch of blood up in there. It's like a zit. You just pop it. Sorry, that was gross. I don't own that. His mouth was also agape and spewing blood onto the floor. The blood had an eerie, reflective quality that should have been graphically impossible for an 8-bit game like Mario 3. I walked up to him to see what it might say. What he had to offer was this. Blood whistle. Hear its cry. I then ran toward the chest to see its contents. The chest was drenched in a reflective, realistic blood of the same type emanated from the orifices and exposed cranium of the poor little mushroom-headed fellow. Pressing onward, I ran through I ran through it to discover its dark secret. Its twisted surprise. I wasn't prepared for the following events. A blood-soaked warp whistle ominously rose from what I now believe to be the deepest crevice of hell. I blipped twice as the normal whistle would. That, my fellow reader, was the only normality of what I have played today. It played a deep tune that I can't get out of my head as I write this. The whistle descended, violently striking Mario in the chest. He unleashed a bloom-curdling scream as it went into his back and out of his chest. The cry wasn't 8-bit at all. It wasn't even cartoonesque. It was a sound of unfiltered anguish, of utter agony. His expression reflected the same. To end my experience on this perverse version of something I once loved, Mario was transported to the warp zone of the Blood Whistle. You can tell early on this is trying to ape Godzilla's NES stuff. Yeah, it's already getting there. It's so overly verbose. I call this because it had only the cookie-cutter OV, the quaint island. The water consisted solely of the same blood aforementioned in my encounter with the whistle. Corpses of Koopas and other enemies of Mario were scattered afloat near the shores. White, menacing eyes glared at me between the waves, surfacing just to cast their evil glance at Mario. Or at me. I can't be sure at this point. Also, I forgot to change the title of the stream. Hold on just a fucking second. Speedrun. I'm keeping the speedrun tag. All of these worlds were indicated by the respected numbers, and all of the dots were crimson. At that point, I noticed yet another abnormality, this time concerning the dot for World 8. Beside it were two 8-bit patches of fire that twisted and contorted in place, without me pressing any buttons. The whistle stabbed Mario in the ribs. This cued him to move to the World 8 dot. Refusing to pay any further attention to the horrors that surely awaited in the distorted desert, I saved the game, and I quit. I've played more than enough of my fill for today. I guess that I figured out the acronym in the ROM title meant Blood Whistle, the hard way. Despite the horrors that plague this abomination, I will continue to subject myself to the suffering for the sake of all of you. Well, also for mine. It'll help me keep track of the days, and maybe this desperate attempt to cling to my stable frame of mind won't prove to be in total vain. There are 5,000 people that have followed this blog in the 2 days that it's been up. Doubtful! After this pointedly interesting post, I'm hoping to have some more. For those of you following my posts, read tomorrow's, and share with your friends. I need you to expose the stark luridness of the shell of something I once knew and loved. Okay, buddy. Alright. You started this blog post with, hey, don't share this with anyone. Todd. Fucking Todd. Never trust a motherfucker named Todd. His name is Todd because it's like Toad, but with a D. Alright. June 8th, one day after. Well, I did it. I managed to clench the fickle fibers of my perception of reality long enough to play through World 2. This guy's fucking... His prose is abysmal. Just tell me what happened, Shakespeare. Fucking Christ. I have come to the conclusion that whoever made this is completely and utterly deranged. There's been a rusted gear or broken spring in the mechanics of their sadistic mind. Their only purpose in creating this mod was to mentally and psychologically flagellate the naive soul poor enough to take in the bait of this mysterious origin. Well, I'm certainly naive enough to fall into that category. I digress to the experience. I find myself asking how I could have missed major things like this in yesterday when I saved the game in this world. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Blood of the same texture from before was just as splattered across the desert sands as sand itself was. Solitary eyes watched me from the pyramids. Pentagrams and other satanic symbols were also infrequent in the environment. Could this hack be the work of the Illuminati? Okay, enough pondering. I need to finish this grim tale. Skeletons of Koopas littered the bleak landscape. There was a distinct disturbance with Mario's appearance, though. He looked starved and parched, as one typically look after a few days in the desert. Nah, he's got some meat on them bones, I think. Mario then moved into the 2-1 block without my command, and the music began to play shortly after. The There was a reversed version of the overworld theme. Whispers and other paranormal phenomena could be heard playing in harmony with the music, saying cryptic things. After about a minute, I began to record the sound. I'll upload it as soon as possible, but I know I definitely can't do it today. One of the most distinct things I kept hearing was, "Let the whistle guide you," and "The instrument of blood plays the sweetest tune." This creeped me out, needless to say, but this of all things wouldn't prevent me from playing the remainder of this game. The stage itself was very scary. Oh yeah? Yeah, was it? How scary was it? The sky was grayish blue, accompanied by an almost white sun. Terrifying. The colors weren't bright or cheery in the slightest. The pyramid blocks were faded and cracked, and the wooden blocks were obviously rotting. Mario's sprite was visibly starving and pleading for thirst. The fire creatures fixedly stared at me like a shark stares at a school of fish, seeming to know who their next meal was. The neutral expressions of the Koopas had changed into ones of converged disgust and loathe. I had obtained the raccoon suit by now, so I ran along the pipe-looking platform and took off. All these fucking Koopas. My cringe Mario getting looked at by fail Koopas. I flew for a little while, which was nice. Mario's face changed as well, being the normal happy smile you usually see throughout the entire game. Is that what we would call it? Is that what we would call it? Sprite Mario 3. Because I need to ask you, sir, what a happy smile looks like to you. Look at this fucking cheery motherfucker. You see that smile? Dude is fucking stoked. What if Mario had weed in the mushrooms and Mario smoked a fat penis? For once in my life, I don't read ahead and it ends in penis. Thank you. I don't know, Kajumafu, what if? That'd be fucked up, if you ask me. That'd be fucked up and scary. I refuse to believe this person played Mario. He said that it was his favorite game. You need to have more trust in people, Rick. I relished in the few moments of happiness I sought from this game. These moments were mercilessly ended within the course of a few seconds. The sky flashed a gloomy black before the blood whistle came and impaled the poor plumber yet again. Mario fell, his corpulent figure going limp until he hit the ground with a thump that I swore I could feel. He was miraculously alive, his body twitching in a feeble attempt to rise. A fire creature jumped on Mario, who was now pinned to the ground and screaming in pain. His scream was bitterly realistic. It reeked of such ineffable pain that it hurts me now to describe the sheer degree of torture that this character was put through. There he was, burning and seething in pain, and there I sat, completely powerless, forced to watch what I thought was the end of his trials on World 2. I was so wrong. You can hear the fucking fire truck across the street. They're gonna go save Mario. It's okay, guys. The level select came into view. Whistle through his back, Mario was transported to one of the pyramid levels. When the level started, the background was an egregious smoke-filled black. Bursts of lightning and filled the sky with illumination. Kash, 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 kash. Also in the skies glowed stagnantly lit pentagrams and the number 666. Mario was being carried off by two of Bowser's sons up one of the game's pyramid structure. It's his favorite game and he doesn't remember the name of Bowser's kids. But, Boom Boom. That was one of them. This actually happened to me IRL. Oh my god, Mario, are you okay? Holy shit. The bricks were cracked and faded with age. The edges were jagged with dried blood, caked across each block. Nothing but a heavy drum beat and the sounds of thunder played in the background. The thunder didn't play in unison with the lightning as it happens in most games. There was an eerily realistic pause between the flare of lightning and the boom of the thunder. As the top of the structure was reached, I saw the worst thing yet. Bowser's kids, Dopey and Bashful. Blumpgus and Prolunk. Bowser, but like small. And they just have like 1 and 2 above them. So this motherfucker got scared by like delayed sound effects with lightning. It's an old game. Brumpo Tungus. I didn't know you were Bowser's 2 sons controlling a single Twitch account. Bowser towered above everyone else, intimidating and terrible. By the way, this is, Sorry, I read ahead. That's my own fault. This is the worst thing yet, according to him. Are you ready for this? Bowser towered above everyone else, intimidating and terrible. Below stood 4 of his sons, 2 of which had carried Mario. Morton, Iggy, Ray, and Von Koopa. That's the one, that's the name of it. His name was Von Koopa, you got it. Above the entire scene were the words Blood Whistle in bright red neon letters. Bowser's face had to have been 10 times more evil than I had ever seen it. They just cranked that shit to 10. They were like, nah, dude, make it more evil. His green shell was cracked, and his white spines had been dipped in blood. Blood was fresh on his teeth, also as his serpentine tongue licked them, making clear his intentions on what to do with Mario after he disposed of them. He's a vampire, dude. You gotta fucking run. No, Ray, Von Koopa. The fourth son was Von Koopa. Von Koopa. That's it. It was then I came to a dooming realization. Mario can't die. The game won't let him. However many things are thrown at him, in however many ways he's brutally maimed, mortality will not escape him. For a time, that is. He will continue to be sustained by whatever dark force or sick mind that drives the rest of these occurrences to passing until the game's eventual end, in which he will ruthlessly and painfully perish. Now that it's been said, to continue today's experience. Just to let you guys know, Mario can't die, but he can feel pain. I thought he said he's a vampire, you got to fuck him. I was like, alright, I like this story. Elon Musk Koopa. And then Daisy showed up. And she kicked Bowser's ass. And then she was wearing sunglasses, and it said, still the best. It said, hi, I'm Daisy, 1973. Oh my god. Suddenly, Von Koopa produced a dagger. It gleamed with uncanny realism in the light of the blood whistle sign that loomed above. After a brief pause, he began to slice Mario's chest open. Mario again brayed. That's the sound. He again brayed the fearful cry, a cry that implied he would only die only to endure the torture of 10 times the magnitude. Tears streamed down his face as Von Koopa removed his heart, still pumping. He handed it to Bowser, who ate it with a crunching chomp. Do hearts crunch? Hey, do hearts crunch? I don't know if we've got medical types in there, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't crunch. Shigeru Miyamoto is a... Shiggy fucking popped off with this one. He's like, y'all never gonna fucking... y'all ain't ready for Blood Whistle. His sons... I give the ending for Godzilla NES crap for having the game try to kill the protagonist, but the protagonist Blood Whistle is terrified of, like, the graphics and stuff. He saw this Toad with his fucking MS Paint ass brain and was like, what the fuck? They can't die, but they could go to hell no matter what. His sons laughed as he did, blood flowing from Mario's exposed abdomen. That's not what the heart is. With a bark from their twisted father, the sons shamelessly began to regurgitate and tear apart what was open? Huh? They just threw up into Mario. As they were doing this, Mario slowly turned his head towards me and uttered a single question through tears and blood. If two guys were on the moon, and the one guy killed the other guy with a rock, would that be fucked up or what? I myself asked the very same question. That would be fucked up, wouldn't it? Why would they treat him as an animal, if not less for their amusement? Why would someone initiate the genesis of such horrid contraption? A contraption in which life and death have no meaning and are manipulates. A contraption in which concepts like morals and remorse and mercy are completely foreign. It makes me shudder to think that there is someone sick enough out there to put a character through this unbearable hell just to sit back and laugh. It makes me absolute sick to my core. It's all been Blood Whistle? Always has been, Mario. I got nothing for that one. Oh, that reminds me of another thing. You're probably wondering as to why I complacently talk about Mario as if he's a human being. A human who suffers pain, sorrow, depression, starvation, and thirst like the rest of us. Has he hit depression? Has he hit that one, bud? Cobalt Thief? A human who is also capable of feeling happiness, remorse, goodwill, and love like anyone else. It's because I am thoroughly convinced that he is. Please, don't stop following this blog because you think I'm insane. Please don't stop following this blog. I'm not crazy. I'm not fucked up, I promise. That will come later, he says. I believe, sorry if you could hear me swallow my water. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that inside this game is a character with a complex range of emotions. Someone who feels like you and me. But it's just a game, right? It's just a contrived mixture of code and data put together to present words and images, right? Wrong! I know everything inside of me that Mario has to be alive. I've seen him truly happy and truly sad, and at one point I may even be seen him truly angry. He feels like any other living, breathing human being. He's real and he's my friend. It'll kick your ass. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how something so human could rise from something so truly inhuman. Just look at that face. Look at that face next to Toad. That's terror. Every copy of Mario 3 is unique. A character with a soul seemed completely impossible for me before I played this hack. I now have a goal with this game. To keep this poor creature safe. Don't call Mario a creature. I suppose I now know the truth. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Huh. That was traumatic. Time to take a break. Mario's real, he just goes to a different school. Nintendogs, but it's just a small, fat Italian man. June 9th, 2012. It's me again. Hey YouTube, it's me again. I had a horrible range of nightmares last night that are a direct result of playing this game. Some really weird stuff also went down. Before I get into today's gameplay, I gotta read this ad for my sponsor. Sorry. Oh god, my sinuses were acting up. That fucking hurt. Ow. That's real life Leo experiencing pain. That's what Blood Whistle's trying to do. It's trying to stab me through my sinuses. Before I tell this, before I get into today's gameplay, have you heard about Raid Shadow Legends? I'll have to go through them with you guys so I'll have an interactive record of my dreaming habits related to this game. I myself am having a hard time as to how they were so close to home and what they mean for my seemingly inevitable downfall. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Before I tell this, I have to let you in on a piece of relevant information. In the 4th grade, I used to play the recorder. Every kid had to learn some musical skill, and I liked wind instruments because of their method of the play and the appearance and the sound. Such is the irony of the instrument that has caused me all of this grief. In my dream, I was playing the instrument in a dark room. I was my 4th grade self, just coolly playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. I was fucking ballin', dude. Bitches were all over my 4th grade ass. Out of nowhere, I began to cough. I had choked on some blood that had materialized within and around my recorder. I covered it and soon filled it. Blood began to pour out in great quantity out of all the recorder's holes. It soon began to float in midair and hover. A few seconds passed, and it struck me in the chest. It had impaled me, going directly through my heart and every other vital artery one could think of. It hit my heart, it went into my liver, it hit, like, my tummy. It was all over it just went in there and fucking, like, get down, like that. And I had a fucking whale of a time in my body, dude. I woke up, the sheets plastered to my bare chest with sweat. That's the last time I go to sleep with cellophane. I was completely fine. Not a scratch on me, except for all the blood outside of my body. As I sat there in bed, afraid of how I'm sure this game did this. Or maybe I was just losing my sanity. I began to hear noise coming from my laptop. It was closed, but a faint, muffled humming sound was clearly audible. Just like this week's sponsor, Audible.com. Are you tired of reading? I warily approached my computer, the machine almost looking alive, and then I opened it up. Just go the fuck back to sleep, dude. Just close your laptop. It was a picture of Super Mario Bros. 3 raccoon sprite on a black backdrop. He was chained up by his legs and feet, and the chains reached outside of the screen. The blood whistle sat as the centerpiece of it all through Mario's chest. The tune of the blood whistle played over and over, a loop that only exacerbated the sounds within the walls of my psyche. I tried exiting out of this program, might have been, but the window wouldn't close. I'm like stroking out here. I eventually had to take my laptop battery, which didn't sit too well with my OS. Luckily, I didn't lose any files. Now for the gameplay. I was on a weak imitation of the World 3 level map. The water was none other than blood. Ravenous fish jumped out of the water, looks of primal hunger on their faces. There was something off about Mario's map representation that I noticed right away. Along with his raccoon tail, the blood whistle was now a permanent fixture through his body. His skin had dulled a little from its prior shade of gray, now more outwardly noticeable. His mustache now had dots of red clung to it as well. Without my or Mario's control, needless to say, I was moved to the first underwater stage. Sorry! How do you know Mario didn't do that one, though? He's the one schmoovin'. Did he look at you and he was like, help me? A cherry red tint absorbed the entire screen. At least it's not blood. This was to be expected, as the water looked blood-ridden from the outside. Fuck! I swam down to the left side of the level to get a fire mushroom. Is that... Keep in mind, this is his favorite game, guys. He went down to get a fire mushroom. As soon as Mario got it and his outfit changed, he got an evil simper on his face. He looked at me and he said, "Revenge, yes?" I confirmed his suspicions, and then we set off for the danger that lurked near. The fish cast malevolent gazes at Mario as he swam by, incinerating them. You can kill the fishes with the tail, too, if you have... Hey, guys. Hey, just like a pro gamer tip. You can kill the fishes in Mario 3 with the tail, with the raccoon tail. You'd think if you're gonna make a story about the game, you'd know the game. Yeah, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's... No, this is his favorite game. I shouldn't doubt him. He knows what he's talking about. It's been a hot minute since I played Mario 3. Mario swam by, incinerating them. His normal happy smile returned. So did mine. The annihilation of carnivorous critters didn't last long, though, before Mario and I faced a hellish dilemma. There was a large fish with rows of razor-sharp teeth. Below him were 2 power-up blocks, one black and one purple. I assumed that these were supposed to mean red and blue. Obviously, there was no progress from this point on without finding what these blocks had in store. Mario's expression changed back into its gaunt appearance that he had for the majority of the game. Mario is in hell, and all you can think about is blogging. Knowing I had no other choice, I dauntingly hit the block that was black in appearance on the left. The fish swam around from its position on top of us and began to tear off Mario's limbs. By this time, a group of fish had congregated around the entire scene. Their laughs were deep and short, registering as barks for the 8-bit sound processor. Fucking Shark Tale 2 is weird. Mario's unable body wobbled as he bled out, spewing black across the screen. When he finally died, the big fish began to laugh. After a couple seconds, Mario's limbs regrew, with the blue block remaining. Oh, he's like a lizard. He's like a little lizard. I hit it to get this all over with. Bubbles stopped coming out from Mario's mouth. He cried in help, but that only made the problem worse. Hold on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, please. Oh, please, I need to find this so bad. No! I can't find it fast enough. I was looking for the sound effect where Mario goes, "Help me!" like he's in a bubble. He sucked in tons of water, his hands around his neck. Fucking idiot, go up to the surface! His face began to grow from gray to blue in a matter of moments. He kicked and he fought, but he only wore himself down, getting angry. He began to incinerate random fish that had gathered in the crowd. The fish began to laugh louder. For every fish he killed, 2 more appeared in its place. After a while, he gave up. I watched as Mario uttered his last gurgle on World 3, the blood whistle stabbing him and taking him away. I saved and quit with haste. See you all tomorrow. You're not gonna help him? You're just gonna let him die? June 10th, 2012. Campus police gave me a visit today. Apparently, one of you had reported my comments related to suicide and claimed I was insane. As a result, I've eliminated all personal information from this blog. I located the person that reported me and banned him. I also have an IP tracker, so don't any of you try that. Speaking of followers, 50,000? I had never expected this page to accumulate this many active viewers. Wherever this popularity or notoriety came from, I'm grateful. Now for today's gameplay. After today, I'll be lucky to finish the game. Princess Toadstool's letter appeared after the previous screen from World 3 faded out. She was squirming and shifting around. Bowser's hand covered her mouth and nose, but it was easy to see the fear in her eyes. They darted left and right in stark, true fear. Bowser continued to have that sadistic smile on his face as he struggled with her. After about a minute and a half, Peach began to change. Her eyes grew an ominous reed as she pushed Bowser's arm away with inhuman strength. She cackled like a loon. Blue veins bulging so noticeably that they were clearly visible through her white satin gloves. Bowser began to cower in timidity. The text on the letter said only this: "Blood whistle. Hear its cry." Peach. Princess Toadstool. Peach. The letter scene was abruptly cut off and the World 4 level select map was brought into view. Goombas and Koopas of all sizes appeared, furious and hungry as ever. This addition made sense. This was the giant tiny world. The shown enemies would be dimensioned as such. Normally green grass was withered and dead. The small patches of water were blood. Mario was still in the fireball fatigues that he donned in World 3. When compared with the other worlds, the map view for this one was less disturbing. I would go as far as to call this tolerable. So hey, if you want to play this shit, fucking go to World 4 right away. Mario happily moved towards World 4-1, whichever nightmarish scenario this stage had to offer. What did I miss? Oh, you know. Blood. Mario got stabbed a whole lot. And he drowned once. The stage had the usual kinks of any level in this game. The sky was black, which made the white clouds vibrantly contrast. A reversed version of the ground level once again played. The wood, as it had been before, was decaying and wasting beneath Mario's feet. The pipes were faded and cracked in various places. All of the enemies still possessed the same carnivorous looks of their inner-game counterparts. There was, oddly enough, a startling abundance of them. Oh, sitting up. Mario was visibly petrified as he tried to avoid the Goombas. My arrow keys keeping them inches away from his life. Amidst all of the din, there hovered a solitary power-up block. So, hang on, you're in control of Mario this entire time? Or is it just sometime in the stages? Because, like, he was like, oh, Mario sat there and drowned while all the fish laughed at him. Like, move him up! Get him above the water! The power-up block was regular in appearance. Nothing outwardly off about this, which greatly surprised me. Not knowing what horrid item it contained, I bumped it in blind vain. That maybe it could help me. You can most likely infer from the intonation I made in the preceding paragraph that I was completely mistaken. What appeared next is what I dreaded. That damn whistle, it was sitting there, blood washing over it as it rose from the yellow square. It sat there, almost beckoning my name. With the imposing enemies, I knew I had no other choice. I took the weapon from its place, rootlessly hoping for the best, readily expecting the worst. The on-screen foes ceased all activity. Their faces returned to a neutral bank state. 5 minutes they stood in place like this, not moving a muscle. I jumped around and tried to kill them, but to no avail. So you sat there for 5 fucking minutes? That's a long time. 5 minutes is a long time. He just wanted to make sure. He just wanted to double check. It's almost as if they were frozen within the confines of time itself. As if for specifically them, all interstellar and physical continuity came to a careening halt. Then they began to move. After the first couple had did, I realized what truly was going on. This was a mass suicide. Most of them just jumped into the nearest hole, but the others performed incredible feats of acrobats and medical possibility. Oh, they did like cool tricks and stuff. One of them did the ending to Pippin, which was like kind of a deep cut, but it made sense. Like, it was cool. They did like the song and dance. It was nice. One Koopa was bashing his head in on a pipe. Another Koopa jumped 6 or 7 times his own height, turned around in the air, and sent blood flying everywhere with a great splat. Soon all of the enemies were dead. Hey, you got through the level. Their remains were spontaneously upchucked from the trench below. A grisly mixture of guts and gore littered the entire remainder of the level. Mario shuffled through the remains, horrified with tears streaming on his face throughout. Random deep bassy tones played, with nothing else to accompany. This fucking Seinfeld music going on. Realistic squishy sounds were emitted every time Mario took a step in the scattered carnage. He continued to cry for the... It's another fucking... Mario's just walking through this... for fucking 5 minutes just crying. The whistle faded into view and followed Mario a few inches above his head like a pestilential virus. After he cleared it, of course, the whistle went straight through his chest as Mario was headed to World 5. You think after a while he'd get used to it. The game has a habit of putting me where it needs me to be, so I closed the window without saving. Yeah, like a game does. Witnessing all that death really racked my nerves. Sure, it might be a game, but with the things this game has had to present to me, I'm starting to lose my perception of reality. Pretty soon the days will start fading together. I skipped a whole bunch. I'm starting to wonder to myself what is real and what's inside the computer. These two things are quickly fusing into one. The lines, they're blurring. Pretty soon the days will start fading together, and by then I'll have lost all sense of reality. I hope to see you all tomorrow. I don't know how much longer I can put up with this game. No, it's not a game. I couldn't tell you what this is. Welcome, Judy boy. What did you miss? Blood. Somehow the top result for this was like a weird ad-libs porn thing. I got duped into reading some dumb shit, and then I found the real one. It's a ROM hack. Every time you open up a chest and there's a blood whistle inside. Watch out for blood whistle. It's the recorder that you played in 4th grade. It's full of blood. It's full of your blood. June 11th, 2012. Today being D-Day fits because I'm fighting one hell of a war against this game. No! You can't say those words out loud. September 11th, 2012. This sure is a massacre of a video game. What are you fucking talking about? People died. Today being D-Day fits because I'm fighting one hell of a war against this game and losing it at that. At least there are no more mishaps. Is that Movie Bob? Sponge Movie Bob. Movie Bob Square Boy. At least there's no mishaps with you all so far, which puts me at rest. As of today's gameplay, I fear for my own life. I feel as if something is coming after me, lurking, seeking me out, as if to make immediate my demise. Nothing before has anything like this ever happened. That's a fucking sentence. Nothing before has anything electronic made me truly afraid, truly scared. I most likely will get no sleep tonight. Nothing in particular occurred. It's just, you'll find out below. I was in the middle of the cloud portion of World 5. The Sky theme played, except it was drastically slow and demonic whispers were clearly audible. Restart story? Can funny weed number do that? I am like 70% through this story and I've been reading it for about an hour. I don't want to restart. I'll have the VOD up on YouTube later. The Sky theme played, except it was drastically slow and demonic whispers were clearly audible. Hey, it works. Great. The whispers were almost the same as the ones I heard back in World 2. Mario was outfitted with the Tanuki suit, which naturally suited the environment. There was nothing there except two things, a red dot and a card game. The card game icon looked similar enough to its regular game clone, except the spades rolled across a red background instead of a blue one. Now, for whatever reason, I was allowed to choose which path to take. I chose to do the card game, hoping it would serve as some sort of reprieve from all the madness. That was not the right choice. Toad didn't explain the rules of the game like normal. Instead, I was plunged into the rolling slots. Beside the slot was a risky scenario. Toad was on the guillotine. He looked at the camera with timid, teary eyes. He was vigorously shaking his head. He shook his hands in a futile effort to free himself from this appalling apparatus, but nothing came of it. The entire picture engulfed me so much I didn't even notice the slots. I cautiously pressed them, trying as best as I could to line them up, given the stress of the situation. I failed, and I had to pay the personal price. The blade fell with a breathtaking speed. Toad was beheaded right then and there. His head did a couple of spins. He did a Christ air and like a total gnarly ollie before landing in a conveniently placed nearby basket. The initial spins flayed blood across the white room. Blood filled the basket and filled it up too. Toad's body spraying blood from the stump where its head used to be. Out of nowhere, the blood whistle came down and struck his torso. The scene faded out, and then back to the map. I was moved to the only remaining destination in World 5. Silent lightning streaked across the licorice black sky. Gray clouds and Mario were the only other consistently visible things. As far as everything else goes, silhouettes of winged demons flew and danced in the background. I tried turning into the stone structure the Tanuki suit is so famous for, but it failed. No music played at all. The demons could be heard whispering in what sounded like a variety of language. Spanish, German, and Latin were the most prevalent ones. Fucking terrifying. Down with the bourgeoisie. It's what they deserve. Fucking class traitors is what they are. A primal fear of the unknown gripped me as I blindly navigated the level. Judging by the look on Mario's face. It plagued him too. This stemmed from childhood, which made it all worse. What? Sorry, hang on. The fuck are you talking about? I not only felt like Mario was in danger, I felt like my livelihood and well-being were in danger. Mario's scared, guys. Hey, guys. Press 1 to calm Mario down. He needs to feel your ones. At that moment, one of the demons swooped down. I would say the most accurate way to describe this creature would be a miniature Cthulhu. Oh, guys, it's Solomon! Its claws plucked out Mario's eyes. Ew, I don't like this bit. He unleashed an ephemeral yet bone-chilling cry. After the searing pain relented, Mario trudged on. His face was now void of any and all expression. It was like that scene in Kill Bill 2, but it's in pixel. It's 8-bit. It's from Mario. It was because he truly knew, as well as I did, that he would be torn apart. Brutally and slowly, but it would happen. After a few more seconds, the second demon came. It was identical in appearance to the first. It swooped down with grim black bat wings and it did its portion of damage. After it was said and done, the thing had torn Mario's arms off. He stopped dead in his tracks. He sobbed loudly, knowing the worst was yet to come. It's me, I'm a sad. When's Bobo? Be patient. Bobo's coming. His normal walk slowed to a shuffle. Not a few seconds after that, the final solitary specter came down. He did his work with one big slash. Mario was now without his legs, and his lump of a body sat there. He sadly wept in utter despair. He knew the end was near. He tuned to me and choked out this. It's just a flesh wound. Those were his last spoken words on World 5 before a gaggle of hell's minions descended and tore apart what remained of him. His entrails were liberally exposed, as they regurgitated in their cruel feast. When the dust cleared, a mere shell of him remained. All you could see was his open stomach, where his open spine and back muscles. As I had predicted, the blood whistle came to transport him to whatever hellish situation it contemplated would be worse than the last. Sorry. Consider it sheer luck if I make another post tomorrow. If I do, it may be my last. Bobo was the clown from Godzilla NES. Godzilla NES Bobo. Bobo! It's Bobo! I found Bobo, you guys! He's here. And he's here to pay us a visit. Did that save it as WebP? God damn it. Oh, I fucking hate WebP. Fuck off. Garbage. What about Bonbon? We don't talk about Bonbon anymore. He's dead. Where is Bonbon? Where is he? He's at the dinner table. He's eating all my cake. Okay, forget Bobo. We're not showing Bobo. Bobo's dead. He died. He wasn't at the ending, so he made it out okay. I'm starting not to care anymore. I'm in the throes... Sorry, June 12th, 2012. It's not D-Day anymore, so we're not fighting a fucking war, apparently. I am in the throes of a severe depression. It's starting to fade away. Oh. Yeah, that's what the P stands for. Web poop. I am in the throes of such a severe depression, it's starting to fade away. Everything. School, friends, family. It's safe to say that this game is single-handedly ruining my life. Such sadness has never become me before in my life. Be safe, Allie. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for lurking. My grandfather died when I was young, but that didn't close to equate what I'm feeling right now. Where's that image of the guy who was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield at his grandma's funeral? And he was like, Grandma with my shiny Dusclops, and he set the Switch next to his dead grandma and took a picture of it. Oh my god. He just fucking put his Switch in the fucking coffin. Oh, I have to find that for you. It's so far back on my Tumblr. I'll have to find that. It's so fucking funny. Showing Grandma my shiny Dusknoir. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I found it. Sorry to stop the podcast. Don't be WebP. Showing Grandma my shiny Dusknoir. Oh my god. Holy shit. Where were we? I keep fucking getting sidetracked. Okay. It's a direct result of the level that I played today, which I'll get to it right now. World 6 appeared. Ice was everywhere. This was one part that correlated to the unaltered version. Nothing else did. The ice was none other than frozen realistic blood. Crystallized pieces of crimson droplets bordered the ice blocks. You sent me Bobo? Oh, you're a fucking lifesaver. I'm saving Bobo to the desktop. Ka-chow. Bobo. I'll let Bobo stay on stream if he behaves. If he can keep his shit together, he can stay on stream. He can be up here. He can keep you safe from the blood whistle toots. Blood filled in the small pockets of the water that were there. Of course, there was only a solitary dot on the map. Mario entered it, and I knew that whatever was to pass, it would be tenfold of what had already happened. Pure sable white was the only thing that constituted of the backdrop. Blocks of blood, ice, served as slippery ground. I feel like I'm losing my mind as I read this. Maybe that's the effects of the blood whistle. Mario slid along as I controlled him. He appeared happy. Overjoyed might be more accurate. Here he had nothing to deal with. Just him in the open space. We like to give our Mario 5 minutes of free running outside every day. It's time for the hour in the block. 5 minutes passed, then 10. All the way through, Mario was happy as I let him run around and fly. It's... We have a fenced backyard so he can run around in. It seemed like he had all the time in the world. The clock ticked life away. It's so unreal. Things weren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize him anymore. Not that you knew him back then, but it all comes down to him in the end. The clock ticked and ticked, and all seemed right in the game. Making my way through the level, I found out it had no end. Time, oddly enough, would turn out to be the ultimate enemy. Yo, let's get existential! At the 20-minute time mark, tempest began to pick up. A flurry of snow and wind ensnared Mario, and he now began to curl his tail. He has control over it. His teeth chattered and his body shook. He soon had to sit down. Mario and I soon figured out how the game planned to snuff him out this time. With ice and time. He sat and tried to heat himself. This, needless to say, was a less than feeble attempt. Nothing but the creepy bass beats from World 5 played. Mario's skin soon began to turn a light blue. Nevertheless, he sat and brooded in the icy cold. It was like that scene in The Shining that scared the fuck out of me as a kid. It was then that the utmost feeling of sadness had encapsulated me. I couldn't fathom my sympathy. I couldn't begin to describe how bad I felt at the fact that his death was absolutely inevitable, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Just simply watch in shock and dejected awe. Frostbite soon took his hands. 10 minutes after that, World 6 Mario was no more. Just a frozen block of man, sitting there in the middle of an infinite winter wilderness. After the sadness came feelings of sheer loneliness. I felt abandoned and alone. Just like Mario sitting in the middle of that ice field, I felt as if no one would save me from the torture of this game. The blood whistle came down and made a chunk sound. Chunk! As it impaled his chest, taking him to the next level of hell. I closed the emulator window, like always, and ended this self-subjecting torture. I will bring myself to play this game tomorrow, but mark my words, I'll play the last level tomorrow, and this blog will live on in my memory. So my tribulation can be seen by the world. Be here. Same time, same place. They don't really have to be here. Mash an F5 for that reload, bud. Blogs, it's gonna stay. It's gonna be there. It is ironic indeed that today is June the 13th. Stop killing Mario and watch some episodes of Murder, She Wrote, you fucking loser. I put the fucking in there. I hope it didn't, damage your image. Kajumafu. It's ironic that I had the booze and she had the chronic. And the Lakers beat the Supersonics. It is ironic indeed that today is June the 13th. The unlucky number, the unlucky day. I suppose today isn't completely horrible. Today is the last day I had to play this wretched game. This horrifyingly absurd remake of what I used to see as a wonderful game will soon be out of my life. No swearing? Shoot. How long do I have to do that for? I forgot about that one. 5 minutes? Alright, I won't swear for 5 minutes. It is ironic indeed that today is June the 13th, the unlucky number, blah, 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 blah. The horrifyingly absurd remake of what I see as a wonderful game will soon be out of my life, along with everything else. With this being the last post, I suppose I can finally be honest about my true intentions ever since I finished World 2. I'm going to take my own life. Hey, trigger warning, content warning for suicide. This game has caused me sorrow on such an ineffable level that there is no other option. Life will never be the same. Mom and Dad, I love you. Michael and Kelsey, you guys be good. Listen to Mom and Dad. They have a lot of valuable lessons to teach you. Lessons that I learned but can now never apply again. For now, what you 75,000 followers read this post for? The rest of the game. What if I do buy my silence? Well, I'm gonna have to do it. Hell itself is what the game brought me to. I suppose that this was intentioned to convey World 8. No, not hell, worse than hell. Bodies were chained up in the background, enduring a myriad of tortures. The only pain wasn't strictly felt from injuries, though. The coughs, dying, wheezes, and vomiting in the background reeked of pestilence and suffering. Fires emblazoned certain people as well. The flames had an actual burning quality to them. Not like regular 8-bit fire. Flesh and eyes and other internal organs and tissues constituted the walls and ground. If the hell I'm certainly going to exist... Sorry, can I say hell as like a place? That's not swearing. If the place I'm certainly going to exist, I think it's going to look something like this. Mario stood before a possessed Princess Toadstool. Her dress was ripped in several places and splattered with blood. Her eyes gleamed red, the flames casting an evilly maniacal allure to her appearance. Bowser and his 6 sons were tied to wooden poles with terrified looks on their faces. Wendy, for some reason, didn't appear anywhere in this game. Okay. That's weird. That's like a weird... Like, you wrote this. That's like a weird thing to... What's up? In one hand, Peach brandished a sizable dagger. In the other hand... the blood whistle. She walked over to Bowser and looked him in the eyes. Technical limitations slightly hindered the interpretation of what events passed, but it was easy enough to understand what was going on. Through his gag, Bowser pleaded with her not to harm him. She brought the knife close, and he froze up. He was obviously paralyzed with fear. Her mouth got close to his ear, and text rolled along the bottom of the screen, conveying the text of what played out given the sound limitations. This is what enabled Mario to speak in the past. Shh, 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 she whispered. Bowser's innards spilled onto the floor in a great she was busy being a girl boss. She successfully utilized girl power to gag and torture Bowser. Bowser's innards spilled out onto the floor in a great heap. He let out a monstrous 8-bit roar of pain as this happened. Peach laughed, her red eyes reflecting whatever evil had possessed her. The princess proceeded to eviscerate all 6 of her other sons. Mario did nothing but look on in horror as his mortal enemies were torn apart by a woman he had once loved very much. His face soon contorted into one of loathing. He'd come all this way to find out the very girl he wished to save had been taken over by an extraterrestrial evil. An evil that would not only haunt Mario, but me as well. Sort of evil that doesn't go away when you turn off the game. The kind of a dark force that follows you to your bedchambers and steals your soul. Princess Toadstool paused for a couple seconds, then came at Mario with the knife. "Hey there, Mario," she said as she toyed with the knife. "They got a little sharp with me, so I pushed them over the edge." Good jokes. Good ones, princess. Good jokes. I tried to move Mario, but nothing happened. He stood there, afraid of what she would do. She brutally slashed open his arms and legs and abdomen. Shortly thereafter, the princess produced some salt from her billowing dress. Yo, she was hiding it up in her cooch and sprinkled it all over him. He screamed again, unmoving. She's seasoning him. "The Princess Peach you used to know is now long gone. The power of the blood whistle consumed that girl and made way for me. And speaking of which," she continued as she produced the blood whistle, "here it is. Hear its cry." With a mocking kiss on the cheek, she began to play the perverse song of the blood whistle. Its notes rotted away at the last reserve of good in me. He was heaved by an invisible force into the flames. Dear Mario, I got fucked up and twisted. He cried out as the flames consumed him. Peach chucked the whistle, making it strike him directly in the heart. He continued to wallow in utter anguish as she walked away. As she laughed, he looked into my eyes and bore me this parting message via the text at the bottom of the screen. The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Mario said these words. Do not let your life be as painful as mine was. I do not hold reservations against you, as you tried your best to keep me alive. I commend you for that. Goodbye, Bradley. And good luck. The tune of the blood whistle continued to play as the screen panned out of Mario's hell. How he knew my name as Bradley continues to befuddle me. How he could have such depth, such personality. I don't know whether this is a result of the game being as haunted as it truly is, or that the fact that someone's could have captured inside his... What? I don't know whether this is a result of the game being as haunted as it truly is, or the fact that someone's could have been captured inside of this ROM. Oh, someone's what? Whatever the reason of this, of everything that has come to pass with this abomination, I'm glad I'm finally done. I've made all my goodbyes at the beginning of this post. I hope one of you takes the time to save this blog, or at the very least, to show the world the true hell I have put myself through. I sure hope that the demented creator of this game isn't festering in the same hell I'm headed for. Goodbye, everyone. Dude, that was your girlfriend. She's in the SNES cartridge. You gotta get her out. Aftermath. This blog was the last recorded statement of Bradley before his death. His roommate discovered him 4 hours after he made the last post. Bradley committed suicide using a recorder that he plunged through his tracheas. I said tracheas, I meant trachea, singular. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I found another creepypasta. I accidentally clicked next. The game did nothing to him and he killed himself with the flu. Yo, he still has that fucking recorder lying around from 4th grade. Dude's in college now. Do any of you still have shit that you had in the 4th grade? Any single one of you. So I know I said I wanted to get like a little bit spooky for Friday the 13th, but I didn't want to fucking shit myself. Oh my god. Nothing happened. This is the same shit as Pokemon Lost Silver. Nothing happened. It was just bloody. I have my emotional baggage. Kajumafu, no. Oh. I found another post, another page. My Lost Hex Zeddy AU headcanons. The Deadly Six from Sonic Lost World were underrated villains. I think they had a pretty cool evil family dynamic going on. Oh man, there's a lot of chapters. Shipwall! Oh, that's silly. I think Zavok and Zaz is a very cute pairing, but I can definitely see... Okay, I'm done with this bit. It wasn't funny at all. Everyone tried to copy Godzilla NES and managed to do everything worse. Like, Godzilla NES was good for like a little bit. This wasn't good for any bit. You don't need to MS Paint your shit to make it look scary, because this doesn't look scary. This looks like dog shit. No one's gonna look at this and be like, holy shit. You guys, is that real? Is that real, you guys? Do you think? I don't know. That was fucking garbage. What is going on in this stream? Oh, you know, he finished the game and then he wrote a blog post and then he killed himself. He took a recorder that he had, God, 10 years ago, and he stabbed himself in the trachea. Because he played a very scary game. Everything that happened in Blood Whistle could have been an actual terrible ROM hack. I mean, I guess. Where are we ranking this one? Should we rank these? Like these shitty creepypastas? Okay. There we go. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I can just do this. Hell yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, first scariest is Godzilla NES, I would say. What would be second scariest? Keep in mind we have Sonic.exe, we have Pokemon Lost Silver, and we've got Blood Whistle. None of these are particularly scary. As a kid, Pokemon Lost Silver kind of scared the fuck out of me. Sonic.exe was kind of scary in your opinion. I still can't get the fucking mental image of this guy just watching Tails the Hedgehog cry on screen for 15 seconds. I will say, Lost Silver was written better. Like it read better. Blood Whistle's gonna go in last place, because it was written by a fucking Shakespeare ass. And, it wasn't good. And it was very long. And it wasn't scary. So that's my official rankings for scary stories so far. I don't know how we fucking survived these goddamn stories. Wait. Wait. There he is. Still the best. 1983. That's gonna do it for stream tonight, fellas. I hope the story wasn't too scary for you. And if it was, cry about it. Thank you all so much for joining me as we played through some dumb shit. If you like what you see, follow me on Twitter or Twitch or YouTube at Leo My Friend. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna play tomorrow. I'm still thinking it through. Like, do I want to do Heroes runs or do I want to do something different? I try to keep Saturdays like a little bit up in the air, because I want to break it off from like the monotony. Don't apologize. You're good. You have no like obligation. You have no reason to apologize for not coming to stream. Everybody's got their own lives. It means so much to me that people are even just like willing to show up. You know.